And good evening, friends. Good morning, wherever you may be. Hello, I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And it's solstice. Happy Yule. Happy solstice. The sun is returning. The sun stood still today, and now it is moving back into its growth cycle. We can count on a lot of things in life. And the one thing we can count on is change. And these magic moments along our year, the 2 solstice points, the cross quarter days, they all communicate the beauty of our natural cycles. So welcome to solstice, wherever you may be, however you are celebrating these holy days. I wish you all the best. And tonight we'll talk about the solstice, some ideas, and we'll just chat, right? I'm coming in from Buffalo, New York, and I want to start things off by giving you all such a big hug of appreciation and gratitude. This could be the question of the week. I don't know. Depending on how much mutable energy you have in your chart, my goodness, it's been a real whirlwind for me. And my beloved companion Teddy passed away, and I posted that on my Facebook on Monday. It was very quick. I think that it was very auspicious in that he was elderly, but he wasn't sickly, and he got sick within a day, within a few hours. He was gone per the. It made the decision a lot easier, right? So I know a lot of you are pet lovers, and thank you. Your comments meant the world to me and my children. That's what I want to tell you, the world. And we're still grieving, and we're still remembering, and a little history about Teddy. Taurus sun, 15 degrees, which matches up with my daughter's 15 degree on her descendant. And I searched the world to find a dog with 15 degrees of Taurus back in 2008 because I wanted to have a perfect companion. You see, this is how astrology works. It's not no placebo, right? If you find this dog that's attuned to your child, and they became fast friends for 15 and a half solid years. Really, he followed her around. I think she might be watching, and honey, it's okay. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to grieve, because the grief is equivalent to the love that we express with others, right? So we are all shell-shocked. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you lose a loved one who's a human or a furry friend. A loss is a loss, and it creates this hole. So I have found, I'm sure many of you agree with this, pain shared is pain alleviated. So again, I want to thank you sincerely for your countless expressions of sympathy and understanding. And so many people express their own pain in losing a pet, because those pets, they're unconditional love. You don't have to do anything. They just love you completely and utterly. So it'll be a different Christmas this year, but it's going to be a different Christmas for a lot of people across the northern hemisphere, at least North American continent. I want to talk about that in a moment. But with the pending generational storm that is hitting on Christmas Eve. So anyway, a big hello to you, and thank you for sharing. Thank you, Jojo, for reminding me to say, if you want to share, you get a chance to get into the Lunar Lights Club for the month. Hi, Judy. Thank you, Jessica and Joanne and Brenda and Jessica and Janine and April, Rebecca. Big hugs to you all, and Paula and Carrie and Annie and Jerry and Nancy and Mary Jane. I'm sure I'm not seeing you all because you're not all on the same platform, and Diane and Mary and Cynthia and Lynn and Louise and Janet and Tina Marie Rose. Thank you for sharing. Christine, Jerry, Beth. Hello, Ellie and Mary and Carolyn and Cal. You guys are so beautiful. Thank you, Kate and Terry. Thank you all. This is a holy time of the year, That's why we call them the holidays, right? So whether you are acknowledging and celebrating Yule or Hanukkah or Christmas or New Year's, which is based on the solar calendar. Some of us use different calendars. Happy everything, happy holidays. And tonight I want to do something a little different. Before we do our spiritual sharing, when I do spiritual messages for you, I want us to do a little meditation. So go get your candle, and we're going to light a candle to the Yule and do a little meditation to share the light with each other and with the universe. Okay, we all need a little light, a little lightness. And then we're going to talk about the new moon in Capricorn. Now, usually, I don't know, for some 20 years, 2 decades, I do my new moon manifestation workshops on Thursdays. I'm going not to do that this week for Capricorn, but I can't leave Capricorn out. So I want to talk a little bit about the Capricorn energy, not just because it's solstice, but because we have a new moon on Friday. And so the question, my dear friends, for you this week would be something like this. Do you anticipate a different type of holiday because of the pending weather? I mean, there's I don't like to put stock in weathermen, but of course, weathermen are like astrologers. They do get it, but maybe not sometimes precisely. But this is supposedly a very difficult storm that's coming. And in my family, we always gather on Christmas Eve. That's the big holiday. And when my parents passed away many years ago, me and my 2 other sisters, we've made a vow to always be together on Christmas Eve. Well, this year, one sister is out of town, so I don't want her to be driving on the eve. So maybe we'll try to adjust it and maybe do a celebration on the 23rd on the new moon. I don't know yet. But so that's my question for you, dear friends. Are you changing your plans? Oh, Beth's on time. That's great. Good evening, Beth MV. Good evening. Merry Christmas, Kate. Yes, absolutely. Happy solstice. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Jerry. Good evening. Glad tidings to all. Hi, Annie. Thanks for being here. Anyone changing their plans? Anyone changing their plans because of the pending weather? Of course, I'm talking about Western New York here. We are also beaming in across the wonderful CIA platform, Cosmic Intelligence Agency. And you know, Australia is also celebrating solstice, but they have different weather. They're not contending with the blowing and drifting and 60 miles per hour winds that are expected in these parts this weekend. But in any case, do share with each other. I'm not going to rush through things tonight, so I'd like to post and interact with you on the comments. All right. I love what you said, Janine. Grief is a manifestation of love in a new form. Yes. Yes. The light and the dark. And I think this is appropriate to talk about grief, not just with my family losing Teddy, but I think the holidays also stir up grief in many forms for us all, right? Because, you know, throughout history, there's been sacred and mundane time. Our ancient foremothers and forefathers, whether they be in a tribal situation in a desert or, you know, up in the northern countries of Iceland, have always maintained that there are different types of time. And when we have time that's repeated through ritual, that creates sacred time. So that's why we often remember with such clarity different years of Christmas time, right? And so it goes beyond just, I should say it doesn't go beyond, but it does go beyond just the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ, because it's the past 2,000 years, it's a sacred time. Yes, that's been vetted and welded with different holidays, but we always remember this week. You know, I've gotten into a little history of the holiday, right? And you might be surprised by this, but over the years, especially in the Victorian era, People would celebrate the Christmas holiday by telling ghost stories around the tree. That sounds a little incongruous, right? Talking about ghost stories. But truly, the ghosts of Christmas past become very evident when we are celebrating a ritualistic holiday again and again and again. And we remember the people that are no longer in our lives. And the veil is often very loosened. We know this as spiritual practitioners between these holidays of the cross quarter days and the solstices. So my wish for you, for all of us, is to perhaps when we go to sleep tonight, to invoke in our own way, perhaps a dream, a visitation from a loved one who is in spirit. This is very, very possible as we're going through this sacred time when the sun stands still during the solstice and the light returns, right? This is why so many of the holidays during this time involves candles and light. The mystery of Hanukkah, the miracle of the oil being enough to keep the light going, the light of the Christmas star that was observed by the three wise men, aka astrologers, who most likely noticed the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn in the sky, drawing the pilgrims to Bethlehem. So there's a lot of wonderful mystery around this week, and I would invite you to take some time in reflection, whether it be with prayer or meditation tonight before you sleep, or if you're already awake and it's already the 22nd, wherever you may be, but spend some time in reflection by yourself and invoke the spirits of past holidays. It's kind of a cool thing to do. And maybe light some candles and remember the people who are no longer with us and the animals who are no longer with us yet walk amongst us. Let's talk a little bit about the solstice chart, friends. So I have the solstice chart set for Buffalo, New York. And I'm sorry, I'm still working with my new computer, so I don't have a visual for you, but I would like you to picture this. So at 00 Capricorn, the 0 point, and something with the cardinal points in astrology. We have 4 cardinal points: the first of winter, the first of spring, the first of fall, the first of summer. That's a 0 point. It's like ground zero. So we're restarting ourselves today, tonight, wherever you may be. So that's 0 Capricorn. And at the same time in the sky, we have Jupiter, which is abundance, Santa Claus, the guru. I call him Santa Claus because he's generous and funny, and he travels a lot, and he's big. Santa Claus is the Jupiter planet, just as an archetype. They're forming an angle of 90 degrees, and they're kind of impelling us and compelling us, that particular square, to get on moving with abundance and confidence and joy, to go for something with enthusiasm. That's what Jupiter is. It's the expansive energy. Be enthusiastic. Be open to new possibilities as this square is happening. And then at the same time, there's Jupiter at 0 degrees of Aries. And guess where Ceres is? Ceres, short for cereal, the goddess of the grain. Well, she's opposite Jupiter. What does Ceres mean? Ceres is the goddess that takes care of everything. The earth goddess, food, clothing, and shelter, how we nurture, how we want to be nurtured. So that's opposite Jupiter. She's very giving as well, just like Jupiter, Santa Claus is giving. And so at the pivot of this square, it's called a T-square in astrology. There's this internal tension that says, I want to accomplish things with this solstice. I want to start from ground zero and with confidence and enthusiasm and get the job done, to manifest something concrete in my life. And then how you handle a T-square, you visualize the opposition to the central point being Capricorn. So the opposite, of course, is 0 degrees of Cancer. So here's a suggestion. Go back to the summer solstice, friends, in your mind's eye. Go back to June 21st of this past year. And you might be resurrecting some goal or some feeling or some agenda that you wanted to complete this past year, but you didn't get around to it. You weren't able to get this done, but your feeling is still attached to wanting to take care of that particular situation way back when in the summertime. Now we have a second chance. So be aware that there's some internal drive with this solstice to complete a task that perhaps was 6 months in the making. And don't lose your verve. Don't lose your energy or your enthusiasm or your goal-centeredness, because miracles happen, of course, on the solstice, especially during these holy days, but also because you got the input of Jupiter, which is abundance, and you have the input of Ceres, which has to do with caregiving. Now, that opposite sign, Cancer, the tears may flow. I know, I'm living it in my own household. The tears are flowing. Don't be afraid of feelings. Don't be afraid of connecting with the solar plexus on any level. Whatever grief or concern you want to let go of, this is the time to do that, to let things purge through you. Maybe use water as an element to soak in the tub, to walk by water, to embrace and drink a lot more water. I know I am, because this is the grounding point of Capricorn, which is Cancer, home and family and nurturance. So that's what's going on with today's energy. We still have Mars retrograde. We're still, especially if you're a mutable sign, Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, and Pisces, or those parts of your chart, you're still feeling this uncomfortable irritation. You're feeling like you're being sucker punched here and there in the past couple of weeks since that full moon on December 8th. Go with it. Go with it. This is the line in the sand today, right? Today with this beautiful solstice. And we also have, I'm looking at the chart here on my other computer. We also have Black Moon Lilith very close to Pallas Athena. So, and they're both talking to Pluto and Mercury. So there's some concerns about, you guessed it, the economies and jobs and wanting to get things done in clarity, even though there seems to be some confusion afloat regarding, are we going to get back on track on the global economy? Ever the optimist, I'm looking at 2023 and I'm saying, okay, come on down, Jupiter, Santa Claus, and Taurus. We can, allay the fears that we've been experiencing collectively with the nodes in Taurus and Scorpio this past year. But that's another story. But be understanding that we are still kind of balancing out emotions with stoicism and concerned about the general state of affairs with the economy, with that little nudge of Mars retrograde. It's kind of like this simmering irritation, shall we say. All right. So then keep in mind, we are now at the balsamic time of the cycle. So friends, traditionally, every month we have a time to act, we have a time to set our intentions, and we have a time to release and surrender. This is the release and surrender time right tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, and then bang, when we get to the new Capricorn cycle, new moon. I did this for Buffalo time. That's December 23rd at 5:15 in the morning. We have the new cycle when the sun and the moon are together in the sky at 1 degrees of Capricorn. And so surrender and detoxify yourself between now and Friday. So that on Friday, the 23rd, we're starting a new track in our lives where you find Capricorn in your life. where you find Capricorn in your chart. If you're a Capricorn, it's like a second birthday. If you're a Capricorn moon, it's like the second time that you are able to acknowledge your feelings. You're a Capricorn rising, it's really important. But everybody has Capricorn somewhere. If you're not sure where, check out some of the offerings here at the CIA if you're on that platform, or go to my website, Cassandra Joan Butler. There's tons of really free astrological apps to find where Capricorn falls in your chart. We're talking about the first degrees of Capricorn. And let me give you some Sabian symbols, shall I? So Sabian symbols also give us kind of an esoteric word picture. And so for our Capricorn new moon, the new moon, you ready for it? Dum-da-long. 3 rose windows in a Gothic church. One is damaged by war. So there's a little bit of a fear afloat with this new moon that there's 3 ways of looking through windows, 3 windows. One is damaged by war. The interpretation of that is group energies that sometimes are squandered in wartime, creating death, and waste is the key phrase. That's the new moon. I know there's a lot of talk and a lot of fear about war. This new moon is on that degree, right? 3 rose windows in a Gothic church, one damaged by war. And earlier, the solstice is the degree of the Indian chief, claims power from the assembled tribe. That's today. Every winter solstice, every first 0 degree of Capricorn, as we start this new cycle, that the light begins to grow as of the solstice. This is the chief or capital or the authority degree. So I always say to people, at the solstice, claim your own authority. Don't be under the thumb or the guise of other people telling you how to live your life in whatever way they think is best for you. You are the author of your life. You're the own authority. So meanwhile, the new moon is about, we don't want to be damaged, but if there is a damage, at least we're still in the driver's seat. So this is a powerful time from a social political way. Sorry, the little hair here. So that's what I want to share with you there. This is a very intense solstice and new moon because of that T-square. You're internally motivated to get the job done. And that job or that goal or that agenda may have something to do with summertime this past year. You may have said, as we wind up 2022, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I didn't get around to doing that. It's okay. We have time and we have focus, and the agenda is strong with this particular solstice. Remember, 0 point is like we're zeroing out and trying to accomplish whatever it is we want to accomplish. Let us do a Reader's Digest version of where this falls in your chart. Again, if you are astrologers, and a lot of astrologers are in the room, just find 0 degrees of Capricorn, 1 degree of Capricorn. If not, I'm going to go through some of a generic form. Okay, and as you can also include your rising sign as well. If you're Aries or Aries rising, this is the time of the year to set your agenda and to set your force and your focus on creating the career of your dreams. If you're in a job, if you're in a career that you enjoy, really push it up a few more octaves. Don't be afraid to take the leadership position. Go for it, Aries. Or maybe you're looking for a new job, or maybe you're entertaining some new versions of your skills and offering them with the outer world. If you're Taurus or Taurus rising, it's about what your beliefs are. Do I want to change them up? Or, how do I integrate what I believe with what everyone else believes about X, Y, or Z? We are always integrating new material. So Taurus might be wanting to do some teaching or some traveling with this new moon energy. For the Geminis, again, release and surrender now. Start the new stuff on Friday. For Gemini, it has to do with your sense of power. It has to do with intimacy. being very, very free to connect with your intimate partner and create more, I want to say, secure finances for the next year. It's about money, intimacy, and connection with what powers you, Gemini. If you are a Cancer or Cancer rising, this particular energy is asking you to behold the partners around you, to become a better partner in your relationship with your SO. If you're looking for a partner, visualize what that partner would be like for you. Really visualize. It's a great time to visualize. If you are a Leo or Leo rising, this already did that, Leo rising, sorry. If you are a Leo or Leo rising, we just did Cancer. I can't read my scribbles. Leo or Leo rising is using this energy to become healthier and to get their work on track, to be able to take their work and to work more efficiently, and also to take care of their bodies and their spirits and their emotions more effectively. All right. So it's do the work more effectively, not working harder, but working smarter. That's for our beautiful Leo friends. For Virgo, it's time to put the hair down and have fun. This particular time of the year, the Virgos are thinking about romance, creativity, and enjoyment. That's what this new moon is all about for you on Friday. But release the things that are not giving you joy until that time. Use the next 48 hours to release and set your agenda, Virgo, for fun on Friday. For our Libra or Libra risings, release everything having to do with family issues, okay, or home issues. Okay, little secret. I'm a Libra rising. I'm going to work like heck in the next 48 hours because my house is a bit of a mess. So that's perfect, right? So my goal is Friday to have things in order. So for all of you Libras, release and surrender now and tomorrow, and on Friday, set a new agenda for your home and or family. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this is a great time to grab a hold of your thoughts. With this cycle that's coming up on Friday, you can download a new way to control your thinking. Everything starts right here, friends, right here. So release, Scorpio, toxic thoughts, judgment, negative thinking. Release in the next 48 hours. Download something new on Friday for Scorpio. Sagittarius, release fears about finance, release fears about not being good enough, and download a new skill set or a new way of creating more abundance, financial abundance on Friday. All eyes are on the Capricorn, whether it be solstice or the new moon. So Capricorn or Capricorn rising, release judgment, release insecurity, release all that stuff that's holding you back, and pretend that Friday is like a second birthday for you, and set your agenda, light your candle, and start over again. For Aquarius or Aquarius rising, you want to release internal fears, especially fears you have no control over. I call them the boogeyman underneath the bed. And so that by the new moon, you're downloading on Friday new spiritual precepts and concepts, a new discipline in taking care of your spiritual life. For Pisces, you want to download on Friday a new set of tribal belonging, friendships, networking. Right now, release the friends that are no longer with you with love, with love. All right, so I hope that all made some sense for you. We're going to do a little meditation, friends, to bring in the light. But before we do that, I'm going to pick a winner of one of you beautiful people who have been sharing this webcast in real time, and then you get to receive a Lunar Lights subscription for a month. Okay, and the winner is Chastity. Are you here tonight, honey? I thought I saw your name. Chastity. You are going to get a new moon in Capricorn for you this evening. Okay. Thank you again. A lot of beautiful comments here from you guys regarding regarding my loss and also the loss that Beth has shared. Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. 2 of your dog's sisters last week. Wow. Yeah, a lot of healing. Mercedes, thanks for being here. Thank you, Susan. Okay. Hi, Carrie. Hi from Huntington Beach, California. A lot of people from all over the place. Mary, okay. It's just a simple thing. If you go to my website, Cassandra Joan Butler, on the front page, you can get your chart. It's free. It says discover your chart. I am pretty sure the Cosmic Intelligence Agency has a free app too. So go to that as well. I'm going to post these placements here. Okay. Cosmic Intelligent Agency.com. Okay. That's good. It's slow. And Cassandra Joan Butler. And if you're not a member of my newsletter, please give a shout and sign up for the newsletter. I'll be preparing my Christmas greetings soon. And I want to also emphasize that if you are coming in from different platforms, you're not familiar with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, it's wonderful. There's so many wonderful astrologers around the planet that contribute. And a lot of the membership aspects include free webinars and, of course, articles and a lot of support for your astrological learning. All right, we're going to do a little quick meditation to bring in the light, and then I'm going to do some spiritual messages for you. And I'm going to light the candle. So if you have a candle, why don't you do this with us as a group? And if you don't have a candle, maybe just close your eyes and picture a light. And I'm going to light the candle. And this is in reference to the solstice. And I'm going to light the second candle for the new moon on Friday. So we have 2 lights. One's low, one's high. That's interesting. All right. All right, dear God, we're going to do just a little meditation, and then we'll do our spiritual work. Do what you'd like, lighting a candle, or maybe you want to just kind of narrow your gaze and stare at the candle and reflecting on the screen. What's beautiful about light is that it is mesmerizing. It has its levels. And so sit back, either picture the light within, or you can watch the light in your own space or here on the screen. Take a nice deep breath. Inhale deeply. Hold the breath. Exhale completely. Relax the feet, the ankles, the knees. Relax the hips, lower back, middle back, upper back. Relax and soften the shoulders, the neck, the head. Relax and attract the light of the sun, wherever the sun might be on the planet, whether it's shining in your world or not. Imagine, dear friends, the light of the sun coming down, down, down through your head, your crown chakra, so that you are warming and relaxing and releasing and connecting the light of the sun to the top of your head. And imagine silver light coming up, up, up from the base of your spine, entering your tailbone, the sacral bone. And these 2 lights are mixing and mingling in your chest, protecting your heart. And breathe in and breathe out and breathe in quietly and gently. And as you inhale deeply and exhale completely, I invite you now, as you are inhaling deeply, to identify that space and that moment before you exhale, the space between the breaths, before the movement of your lungs, before the exchange of gases within your body. Gently inhale, and as you hold the breath before the exhale, observe that space, that place that's neither inhaling or exhaling. Good. In my mind, that is the personal experience of the solstice, the time when the sun is standing still, the time when the placement of breath is very still in your own physical body. And in that stillness, in that place between breathing and exhaling, go to that place as you are sitting here right now, going to that eternal now, that place of exquisite quiet, that place of peace that can be obtained between the breaths, in the space between inhaling and exhaling. And in that field of infinite possibilities, ask and you shall receive. Ask in that place between the breaths for a word, an image, a color, a number, a song, a smell, a symbol. Ask for some message of guidance. So just take your time, a couple more inhales and exhales, but between those breaths, in that exquisite space of quiet, ask for a message. Excellent. A couple more breaths, friends, and let's come back into the room. And maybe help ground yourself by giving yourself a hug. Okay. I'm going to keep the candle burning here. Right here. All right, friends. Let's do some spiritual messages. I hope you got a little message or two. I know I did. I never know exactly what I'll get, but it's fun to. It's fun. It's fun to do that technique as quick, right? Just take a couple breaths, and whatever word comes to mind is the word you need. I got a word, but some of you may have gotten a picture. Some of you may have gotten even a message from someone in spirit. It's hard to say. All right. You're very welcome, dear friends. I'm going to now randomly select a couple of people to give some spiritual messages. I just need you to be here in the room. I can position my finger here. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words to be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing for the highest and for the best as we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit. And I'm coming to Mary Lester Maydell. Mary Lester. So please say yes or no, Mary Lester. And if you're still here, Mary Lester, because I'd like to at least see your name here. Oh, you're very welcome, Annie. Okay, good, Mary Lester. Thank you. All right, so now I'm just going to tune into your name. Okay. So, Mary Lester, as I'm tuning into you, a word I'm getting for you from that meditation that you received is connected with your throat chakra. And the word I think is trust. I'm not sure if that's the word you got, but I'm getting that word for you right now. Trusting your ability to communicate with others, because you're always coming from a place of love. In your younger years, sometimes you may have been a little bit more impulsive, haven't we all? And you've really, what Spirit is telling me is that you've really worked on yourself. You've really worked on cultivating the natural skill that you already have of empathy. And there's someone around you in your closest connection. I think it's a heartfelt connection. It's a female. It could be a younger person, could be a daughter, it could be a niece, but it's someone that you're wanting to give them some advice. And Spirit is saying you can still give them advice and get your point across in a gentle way so they don't get very defensive, because this person around you is in need of getting your wisdom. I'm also seeing you in front of, I get the word portfolio. I don't know if you have a portfolio of art or if it's a portfolio of poetry, or it's a collection of creative products that Mary Lester has produced. And in 2023, Mary, I'm feeling that you're going to be dusting off some of your creative, I want to use the word children, all right? Because children are often a form of creativity, but creativity is creativity. Some of your products, some of the things that you've poured your heart and soul in, and but I'm getting like, I don't know, I'm getting a portfolio. I mean, it could be not necessarily art, but maybe some sort of a cloth, like a mandala or wall hangings or something, whatever I'm picking up here. You're going to be dusting it off and pulling them together and sharing them with other people. Okay, Mary? Because in many ways, you've been too busy and too tied up in your Virgo. I don't know you, sweetie, so I don't know your chart, but I'm getting the word Virgo. So maybe you got Pluto, Uranus in Virgo. Maybe you're of that generation. I have no idea. But sometimes your Virgo perfectionistic self prevents you from saying, hey, this is who I am, take it or leave it. That's the type of confidence I feel you're cultivating for 2023. And it's going to be grand. It's going to be great. It's not that you don't care what other people think. It's just that you care more about what you think about what you're doing. And you have that confidence because you know you're coming from heart. You're coming from heart center. And so that's all that matters, right? If we're coming from heart, we're not coming from ego, we're coming from heart. We know we want to share our gifts with others to help them, to uplift them, to inspire them. And Mary Lester, that's what I'm feeling for you by April of 2023. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. You're welcome to give me feedback. You can also just, contact me in other ways too. All right, if you'd like. Many blessings to you, Mary Lester. I'm going to do another read here. Okay, I'm with Tony Piccone. Am I saying that right? Or Piccone? Tony Piccone. Tony Piccone. Would you like a read, honey? Tony Bacone? Tony Bacone. Got a little doggy there. Tony Bacone. Just say yes or not if you're still in the room. Okay, Tony. All right. Well, obviously you're a dog person. It doesn't take a psychic to say that, right? All right. You're welcome, Tony. I'm hearing a man's voice and spirit, and he's not angular in features. He's kind of squared off. He's kind of a big guy, very wide shoulders, kind of a square body. He's outdoors. I feel this could be a father in spirit or an older brother, or it was a father who may have passed earlier, or what's earlier. He may have passed like in his 50s or something, but he's a very man's man, to make that kind of description. Gruff but fun and funny. He also reminds me of Santa Claus. All right, Tony. And Santa Claus archetype. I'm not sure he really has a full beard, but he could, and then he shaves it off. But he likes the outdoors, and he's a guiding force in your collection of spirit friends out there. He's telling you that sometimes he came across like he really didn't know what other people were up to, but it was kind of a play acting. Not that he would play dumb. He's not saying that, but sometimes he would be a little naive during discussions because he didn't want to intimidate others because he was a big guy. And he's saying sometimes you do the same thing. Not that you're a big gal, you're not intimidating, but you sit back and you're not letting people know what you know, because there's some sort of delicate discussions or negotiations going around you in your personal life, it feels to me. And he's saying that you are good at what he did, which is being neutral and non-judgmental and gather all the facts and figures, which reminds me, I don't know if you know astrology, Tony, but you might want to see where Gemini falls in your chart, because Mars is retrograde and has been retrograde since October 30th. So it's kind of like a data collection time for you, Tony. And you're getting a lot of data about a circumstance or situation that's delicate. And I think this is more personal life or family life. And he's saying you're doing the right approach by not coming down very strongly. You're still gathering facts and figures. You're not making the judgments, because that will scare the people away from what you're trying to do, because you're a negotiator by nature, and he wants you to play it carefully, because there's something that needs to be there's some very strong characters in whatever this negotiation is. I have no idea if this makes sense to you, Tony. You're welcome to say yes or no. But this inspirational gentleman is kind of protecting you and reminding you you're taking the right tact. I'm also getting with you, Tony, an excitement in your solar plexus that you're wanting to position yourself with. I want to say it's almost like a trip of a lifetime. You've been wondering about, should I take this trip? Is it this year or next year? And I'm feeling it's more this year. There's a trip that you've been contemplating, and you have to find the right resources, time and money, and money and time. But it feels like 2023 is the time for this, launching this expansive trip for you. And it's going to give you not just pleasure, but a lot of fun and learning, specifically learning. So I want to give you that for you. I love the dog pictures. And I feel that this is not a new venture. You've been a dog person for a while, and I feel very, very good with what they've taught you. And I'm going back to this gentleman in spirit because he's saying actually a dog will do that as well. They have a lot more insight that they let on. And so be like the dog whisperer with this circumstance around you in your I think it's personal life, but it could be even be, among friends in a business setting too. You're playing the waiting game because you're gathering more information. So I'll leave that with God's blessings, Tony. All right, dear friends. Wow, we almost went a whole hour today. That's unusual. I like to keep it to like 9 or just a half an hour or so. But I guess it was just meant to be because I wanted to do a little extra stuff here for the solstice and give you a lot of heart hugs through this wonderful device that we call the internet. So enjoy your week, friends, however you may celebrate. Stay safe. Observe the light within you and within everyone else, and know that the light is returning. This is the shortest day, but our light is returning. And I wish for you peace, reflection, and the celebration of both all that life has to offer. And I love that quote from Janine that grief sometimes is an expression of love, right? So, and the darkness is an expression of life as much as the light. So many blessings. Love you guys, and I'll see you next week. And we'll talk about the new year, 2023. Happy Merry Christmas. Happy Merry Hanukkah. And be well. Bye-bye.